Hey guys, back again once again just to make a very quick video. In my world, quick video means something less than 10 minutes. I'll try to keep that. I hope you watch my previous video, which is Al Haramain La Venture Blanche. I said some really good things about it. Check it out. It's a beautiful crowd pleaser. It's built for women. Actually, they're selling it for women, but I think it's a beautiful unisex scent, and it's really gonna be getting a lot of compliments. It's made to love, basically. All right. So now the topics I'm going to talk about, I used to do these videos back then, like a few months ago. I used to do a lot of these videos. So just thought like give few tips and few things, to share with you. That is going to be maybe helpful for the newcomers, new entrants, or people who are actually in general fragrance lovers, but maybe just sharing my thought. All right. So first of all, the first tip I'm going to give you, do not ever blind buy. This is one thing I've been saying since the beginning. I always say, try it. I mean, try a fragrance, then buy it. Now, I'm pretty sure, thanks to many people, people are doing decanting. I personally myself do decantings, So you can actually try out the sample. You don't have to spend the whole money on a full bottle that you may risk, like it's a big, investment. So, you don't want to go to that. So there's the option. So you can buy official samples from people. You can order through. Basically, have all the options. Do not buy something like you have no clue on. You just like a bottle. Like for example, let's say this bottle you saw it somewhere in the mall, and you're like, wow, it's a beautiful looking bottle, right? It's a shoe. Let's buy this because it must be beautiful. You don't know. You might see decadence. This one, Marc Jacobs, right? I'm showing you women's perfumes because the bottles are prettier there. And then you see the bottles and you're like, they must be really beautiful fragrance. And you buy it and like, oh, it didn't work for me. So the whole thing you invested, pretty much gone, $50, $100, whatever the case might be. So first thing is, do your research. There is Fragrantica. Look at the notes, type your fragrance down there, search for it. If it's not there, it's not there. Try to find reviews on YouTube. Try to see 2-3 people talk about it. It doesn't mean everybody's gonna be spot on or perfectly describe the scent. They're gonna give you their take, right? So don't go out there also blame the reviewers like, screw you, man, I bought this fragrance, it's absolute garbage, man, shoot. They're so frustrated. I see the anger sometimes, and I understand, because I didn't tell you guys to go and run out and buy a fragrance. I said I like it, it's nice, I think you should try it, and if I think it's a perfect 10, I give it a perfect 10, because that's perfect 10 in my world. If I say it's garbage, it may be garbage in my world, maybe a gem for someone else, right? Usually it's not the case, because I do my research before buying. I hardly blind buy. So blind buying is a big thing. You don't want to buy something that you have absolutely no clue and you just bought it and you just like, oh, okay. That's like dumb people do. If you do not really have an option, really just follow your favorite reviewers, because they have similar choices, or rather you have similar choice to those reviewers. So try to follow your favorite reviewers' suggestions, all right? Second thing I want to say is try new things, okay? What I mean by that is, some people just like to play it safe. Like let's say when I was in university, for me, anything I would pick up has to be close to this one. This is EDP version, the EDP the Hugo Boss bottle, EDP Intense, but the Hugo Boss basically it's one of the safest fragrance out there. You cannot go wrong with this. No one can hate this stuff. You can also think of Gucci Guilty, or you can think of Armani Code, stuff like that. It's very easy to wear. So some people don't want to come out of that circle. They're like, I want to just have my little nice, circle, because I don't want to be taking chances. I don't want to be daring. It's bad. You know why? Because you're going to be missing out on a lot of great fragrances that might later grow on you. Something else. Maybe you never liked green fragrances. You didn't like oud. You didn't like leather, tobacco. But at some point you started liking it, because, fragrances like Thierry Mugler Angel Man, it's very difficult, complex fragrance to like it. First time you spray it, you'll be like, what is that? You don't get it. It's very dark, it's very skanky, it's sometimes to new people. But you try, and in one day you get it. Right day, after a lot of wearing, you get a fragrance. So you just maybe try to get a sample when you buy some other fragrance from this house. And you try to tell them like, give me a sample. After wearing the sample, maybe it will grow on you, right? So try out new things. Next thing I'm going to tell you, like I see a lot of the stingy mofos. I'm just going to say it. I don't mean to sound rude, just trying to say it lighter. Okay. use your fragrances, guys. If you spend so much money, hard-earned money, and you just don't ever use a fragrance, you see a lot of my bottles look like this. Okay, I do some fair bit of decanting, and I also am a heavy sprayer. I love really testing my fragrances. Okay, so you see bottles like this, I'm not worried. Okay, let's say the bottle is discontinued. Okay, let's say the fragrance is hard to find. Yes, then you use it gingerly. But you know, if you have a fragrance like this fragrance, for example, this one, Mugler Cologne, I wear a lot of it. Why? Because I love the scent personally. So if you love it, wear it. No point, you know, collecting like CDs or cassettes, or no cassettes, CDs or maybe books, and like some time in future when times are great, I'm gonna wear it. No, what's the point of buying a fragrance? It might go bad if you're unlucky, if you didn't store it properly. So use your fragrances. Next, don't overthink. I said this so many times. I've seen guys asking too many questions. That's just not cool. When you overthink and you don't end up buying anything, actually it's just a waste of our time. It's a waste of seller's time, your own time. For example, give you a great example. Zara Y, supposedly clone of La Nuit de l'Homme, which I reviewed both. You can check out my reviews on those. And it's what, £9.99. When it comes to Bangladesh with tax and all this, you know, the expenses, you know, added everything, it becomes like $22. Okay, yes, deal with it. People do make profit because sellers are not going to give you a freebie. Just, oh, it's $12, I'm going to bring it $12, sell it. What's the point of doing business, right? So they'll give you, but it's within that agreeable. It's still, I would call it damn good cheapy. 100 mil for 2200 taka or $22. I think if you overthink and you're like, it doesn't have the longevity, it doesn't have the complexity, it doesn't have the exact notes, it doesn't have that magic the La Nuit has. How much do you have to pay for a La Nuit vintage bottle? I've seen people paying $150 for as much as 150 or more for a vintage bottle of La Nuit de l'Homme, just to get that feel, right? And this brand, what they did, create a damn close sort of smell. Yeah, it has some performance issues, it's not the best performer. Not every fragrance does everything, right? So you have to keep it in mind, bear in mind that when you're paying so less, while you're doing your overthinking, people are buying it and it's being sold out. What if they discontinue it? You're not gonna find it, right? So don't overthink, don't overkill. If you like something, if you think it's getting so much hype, it's highly likely if 10 people are talking about it, people are posting it and they're buying it, highly likely it's good, right? So go with the, you know, notion, and then if you are not a good nose, if you don't have the experience, go with the public opinion. You cannot go wrong. If you overthink, you'll end up buying nothing, all right? And your game actually would be like frustrating. And the last one I'm going to talk about is very important. Many people tell me, bro, didn't you buy enough designer fragrances? You have got literally everything. And I wouldn't say that would be actually an overstatement, but I do own 400 plus designers and some niche. So just the point of giving you the numbers is I made a list. I got all the fragrance that I wanted and much more. Recent days, new releases, someone else recommended, I got a good deal, I bought a lot of fragrances. And I wanted to try, I almost tried 100% of the fragrance I wanted to try when I started my journey. So when people tell me, dude, upgrade your game to niche, you see other people are ahead of you, I don't worry. Do you know why I don't worry? Because for me, there's no such thing as an upgrade. The whole thing is about love. If you do not love your fragrance game, if you do not love a fragrance, if you don't wear it enough, and you think one day, oh, I found my niche, so must be my designer must suck. If you start thinking like that, there's no point of playing that game. It's just my personal opinion. I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm not a snob by any means. I love my designers. I love whatever I buy, also niche. I love a lot of these fragrances. So whatever I love, I love. So don't ever compete with other people. That's my humble suggestion to you. If you really love a game, do it for your own sake. Do not make it like a horse race or something like you have to make that money and then desperately go out and buy something. You're not going to even wear it because other people having it and you have to have it, or you have to buy something to beat others. It's not like that. There are a lot of people in Bangladesh who have less collection than me, more collection than me. They have much richer collection. Some have not as much. I don't worry. I'm very happy with where I am in the game. So I think you should do the same. So these are the things I want to talk about today, and just enjoy it. This whole thing is about like love and happiness. If you are not doing either one, you're doing the game wrong. Those are the things I want to talk about today. Take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Good night from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Bye-bye.